Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here, and welcome to episode 3 of the Soul Imagineer Tribal Council podcast. Oh, hey, oh, yo. I'm not even going to do it.
We need, like, the sing-along songs Follow the Bouncing Ball when you do that. Like,
oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, I.
Yeah.
And this episode is titled, Tiki Literally Carrying the Tribe on His Back. Yes. So that's a thing that Probst actually said on Survivor about Boston Rob, and I just find it so damn amusing because I just picture him like literally carrying his family on his back. And the funny thing is, when you go and look at the clip, he's not even carrying anything on his back. He's holding a piece of wood. So
yeah.
So obscure bit of Survivor trivia, so to start the title. But anyways, got MonorailRed back. How we doing?
Doing pretty good. Hello, Walt Disney World Magic Forum.
So you did your Elite 8 Imagineering profile with us last year.
Yeah.
Way back when.
Yeah.
And so now we're back, and you've been kind of a prominent member of this cast so far. So I'm happy to have you on the podcast.
It's good to be back. Good to be back.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
All right, so Soul Imagineer season 2, Survivor themed. How's it feel to kind of be in the midst of kind of something that's more strategy based than maybe you're used to?
It's different. Group projects aren't, but it's different. Like, I'd never really, I heard of Survivor, but the closest thing was, I think there was a Jimmy Neutron Survivor themed episode, and that's the closest I got to having an idea of what Survivor was. I was like, okay, there's a little fire that extinguishes when someone gets voted off. Okay.
I need to look up this Jimmy Neutron episode.
There was. And that's as close as I remember to what there was.
Oh, God.
I barely remember that, but I was like, okay, time to get back in the comps. Let's go for it.
Well, fortunately, I think that at least in the pre-merge, it's kind of been about thinning out the people that are inactive for the most part. Yeah. So there's not really been a ton of strategy. But before we get into the thick of things, I want to ask you about something that went down in the very first round, probably in the very first minutes of the game. What? Oh, I'm sorry. So D squared. D squared. Yes. So how was that whole thing? Just give me your quick 2-minute summary of your experience with that.
I got some of it, but not all of it. There was some serious strategy going on right off the bat, which I thought was interesting. I was like, okay, so this is how it goes. Everyone RM even said there's 30 alliance things already. And at the beginning, and I was like, oh, poor RM. And I was, oh my God.
No, not poor RM. If I was in RM shoes, I'd be just lapping it up with the D squared stuff that was going on.
And it was interesting. I was like, wow, okay, so this is how it's going to go. But apparently, he got voted off. So he's kicking butt on Redemption Island, though. So
I think he's got a very, very good shot to come back from Redemption.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I can't wait. I will get popcorn, and I will be so excited. So D squared, please come back.
Well, I think that was kind of a sneak preview of what we're going to be getting at the merge, because I think the merge is going to be crazy.
I am so excited for merge, just because it's not only going to be really good concepts, it's going to be strategy as heck, and I'm so excited.
Oh yeah. All right. So yeah, I mean, I think everyone kind of had the same experience with D squared. He was just messaging people left and right.
Yeah.
Kind of insane. It was unlike anything I've ever seen, and I've been around a lot of these comps. I've actually competed in Survivor games on Facebook, and I've not seen anything that crazy. So props to D squared.
It was an interesting strategy. Just friend everyone, and then whoever doesn't follow you, you have back. I thought it was a really interesting strategy.
Yeah, it could have worked if he put some nuance into it.
If it had a different execution level, I feel like it could have worked well.
The thing in Survivor is that people compare notes.
Yeah, that's the dangerous part. And with
oh yeah. So, all right, so we're mostly here to talk about episode three's immunity challenge, which was all focused upon Shanghai Disneyland.
Yes.
And telling a land telling a story through a land. This was hell for me. this was not the funnest project to go through on my end. Oh God.
I could tell. A little.
I mean, let me just make this clear. The title of the episode, Tiki literally carrying his tribe on his back, and just my overall, like, I hold no ill will towards my tribe. I was busy myself. I just happened to be the gullible idiot who had to submit something, you know, in spite of being totally busy. But I mean, Matt had stuff. I had stuff. I'm sure you know, Jokers had school, so everyone had legitimate reasons to be out. So it's not like it was just the tribe literally being like, Tiki, do everything. But I don't know. It was, oh God. Like, there's not even really much to talk about with the brainstorming on my end because it was literally one idea the whole time. Hey, we should do something with Thunder Mesa. We should have like a Thunder Mesa style land with a haunted mansion. That was it.
You know, me and Thunder Mesa are like this, so I would have been you guys automatically win.
Well, I mean, obviously, that's the first thing you think of, at least on my end, when you think of a story-driven land.
The circle around the hub, like, you got to have something around there. Like, that's the first thing we thought of, too, I think. Like, something like that.
Mm-hmm. So it was just frustrating because I kept on just posting like Thunder Mesa, and it was just like we were getting nowhere, just absolutely nowhere. So I guess we'll get into your guys' project, but I guess let me just lay out kind of some of the inspirations I had with the actual project that I came out with, which storytelling-wise, I thought was pretty good. And frankly, I wasn't really sure what R. Michael was talking about with his review. That kind of broke my brain a little bit when he had his review and he was like, oh, there should be even more story attached to it. I was like, what? I don't know.
Storytelling was really good. I got to cut you in there because, like, it was just, like, the theming of the area. It was like Thunder Mesa, but not. It was a Chinese version, which I thought was really good with the China area. Like, it made sense, and but it was also inventive. It was really cool.
I definitely had a lot of influences. To tell you the truth, at least in terms of how the land was developed from a visual point of view, my main influence was The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, which was a show on Cartoon Network.
I feel like I've heard of it before.
Yeah, well, all that show takes place on a town that's literally just on these stilts on the water. So that's how I came up with Stiltsville.
Yeah. It was very
also, Stiltsville is a chapter of a book that I read a while ago, and that name just stuck with me. So I had to work it in there. Okay. I'm actually really proud of the way that when you walk through the land, it kind of like you get kind of like big visual kind of like reveals throughout the land. Like you see the stilts, and then you see the mansion.
That's what I liked about it. It was like I could picture myself there, and seeing the visuals just would have been enough for me. Like it sounded really nice.
Right. You know, the Haunted Mansion, what do you think of the whole idea of me working it into the actual side of the cave? Because I wish I could have developed it more. I wish I could have gone into more detail on how I wanted to do it.
I feel like the theming and visuals was nice. I feel like Shanghai needs a mansion, but it's like, call me old on the forums, but like it's been done a lot. Like, no offense, it's just been, we had it in SA Sorcerer's Apprentice 2. I did one concept. I think JDM did one or maybe two. And a few other people did Shanghai. So I guess it wasn't a bad concept. It's just you've seen it before. Kind of like Toontown. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you mean with Toontown. Yeah, I don't know. I guess, like, I really wish that I would have developed the actual storyline. Well, not the storyline, but just kind of the, like, what actually goes inside the mansion a little bit more, because it would have been a lot more unique.
I like your sketching. stretching room. It was really cool. So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that portrait. So
like I was kind of picturing it being sort of like a Winchester mystery house sort of thing, except like there's literally rooms extending into caves and like half-built rooms, and then half of it's a cave and stuff like that. So that was basically where I was coming from. I'm trying, and then the character Sassoon is actually a real I don't know the word. They're a rich family. They're a rich family from China.
oh, okay.
I looked up like wealthy families from China, and I pulled up the name Sassoon. So I'm like,
Sounds like a wealthy name.
there we go. There we go. Okay, so let me actually. Why don't? Can you kind of describe the brainstorming process on your tribe a little bit?
Yeah. Well, first we knew we wanted to do something really, really good. I think Sam threw around something Sherlock Holmesy, European-y, because that would kind of be really out of the box. And I'm automatically, I think I mentioned Western because it's me. Someone mentioned an expansion, like not an expansion of Tomorrowland, but something similar. And I was like, you know, maybe like an international showcase, kind of like the World Showcase. And someone was like, how about the entire planet? Then we were like, well, what about a naturalistic planet? And it just kind of boiled from there. I, of course, tried to include a version of of Western River Expedition, which Tomorrowland, I never thought of like a futuristic version, and it actually worked out better than I thought it ever would. Space did an amazing version of Space Mountain, of course, because that's him. And it was an awesome dark ride. I don't know how else to say it. It was kind of like the Green Dots, not dark ride, but kind of a coaster too. And then,
Sure.
yeah, and everything just kind of fell into place. We had a few other things. We tried to bring back Tapestry of Nations in a different way in storytelling. And we were kind of like, well, what if we have this planet with a 2.0 version of sea, and they're called Air, and we just started developing the story from there. And it really turned out well. So.
Yeah, when I saw your guys' project, I was like, okay. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I typed out that opening kind of backstory thing on my project, I was like, oh man, this is really good. We might actually have a chance. But then, I mean, between kind of having to rush through the Haunted Mansion side of the project to get in on time, and then just the overall scope of the presentation on your guys' end, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Space said you guys literally had 15 different pieces of unique concept art.
Yeah. Between me, him,
a little above and beyond there.
We were like, let's go. That doesn't include stuff in the videos too.
Oh god.
Race to the finish.
And then of course you guys changed all your avatars to fit the Avengers.
Well, we were kind of like, we were gonna avenge our last one. So we were like, okay. Avengers assemble. I'm Black Widow because, you know, I'm the only girl. And then everything else just kind of fit into place. Sam was Hillary Clinton and got turned into Thor. So there was that.
Oh, dear Sam.
Yeah, so we had two Thors, a Groot, Captain America, and Black Widow. And there we go. Oh, okay. And we also have Baymax.
Oh, yeah. Now, Baymax, that would be an awesome crossover in Marvel.
It would be. He doesn't.
Okay, so I've got the screen share up right now. Actually, let me go ahead and lock it on my screen. There we go. So I just kind of want to go through these pieces of concept art really quick and just kind of give credit where credit's due, because oh my god, they're great.
It was so much fun. I haven't had that much fun in a project actually since Sorcerer's Apprentice 1. I'll be honest. That last Atoki team in this challenge, especially, just it flowed so well. So
and then meanwhile, I'm over on the other end being like,
you're dying on the other side.
Is anyone here?
Do the Adele song.
Oh God. Whenever, you know, the funny thing about the Adele song is whenever I hear someone like be like, "Oh yeah, I love that song, Hello," I'm like, "Don't you mean the song from Book of Mormon?" Hello, my name is Elder Price, and I would like to welcome you to this amazing book. Oh God. Okay, so I love the touch of John Lasseter with the eye patch there, by the way.
I thought it was pretty good. I just like did that quick in Photoshop. I was like, okay, let's do that.
Okay, that was space, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's space. He did a picture of the planet last minute, which was actually pretty good.
No, it turned out well. Turned out well.
Yeah, he did good. Done good. Done good, space.
Okay, who did the logo?
That was me, and it was quick. I wanted to do some of it in Chinese and then like around because I thought that'd make more sense. But you know, keyboards and Illustrator don't like me. Okay.
I'm really looking forward to getting into Illustrator with my digital media class. That's
it's so much fun once you get the hang of it.
Yeah,
oh
that's one thing I haven't had the pleasure of so far. All right. Is all this you?
The space report was space. This one's yeah, and that one's mine. Space kind of did one originally, and then I was kind of gonna do something for that for my attraction, so I just kind of took 6 of his and then just ran with a few other ones.
Okay. Okay.
So did my version-y thingy.
So basically, your guys' concept is Western River Expedition in space.
Yeah, Space did the middle part of that, and I did the beginning and ending. He did the 2 tribes, and I just kind of mixed it all, and yeah, it was kind of cool.
Now, this comic is a thing that really just, I mean,
I love the comic. Space went all out, and it was so cool. Because it really involves the story, and it's like, you know, you love the idea of like the Disney Kingdom Seekers of the Weird and stuff, and this just kind of like promoted it in a unique way, and I was excited.
Oh yeah. The one thing about this is that to me it kind of reminds me a little of the Tomorrowland movie.
You know, this is pathetic, but I haven't seen it yet.
That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I really want to see it. But I hear it's not
the first 2 acts are very, very, very strong, especially the second act. It kind of falls apart at the 3rd act. Just a little bit. But still, it's a good movie, for sure.
Okay. And I just noticed Space has a hidden Mickey on page 1.
Yes, yes.
That's sad that I didn't notice that. Moving on.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I mean, it is very similar to Tomorrowland. That's the one thing I have to say. Because Tomorrowland is all about, like, there's this one point in Tomorrowland where they go to the Eiffel Tower and it becomes a rocket ship and it's all funded by, like, people like Edison and Tesla and stuff like that. So it's kind of a similar concept, you know, kind of like these famous people that sort of lent their hand to this thing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Oh, what was I gonna say? We were just, I don't know, like, even if it is like Tomorrowland, did Tomorrowland even go to China?
Is there a Tomorrowland in Shanghai?
Like the video.
Oh, the movie.
The movie.
I'm not sure. I would have to look it up.
I think so. I don't know. But yeah, Space did the map. Very good. Wormhole was something I thought of and Space developed more. And it was a really cool transition piece just to kind of zap you somewhere. Kind of like Diagon Alley kind of does the break.
Of course, of course. All right.
That was me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm just going through the concept art at this point. I don't have much to say. I assume that's Space.
Yeah, that's Space.
I like it because he kind of has his style is a little bit more cartoony, whereas obviously you're very much Mary Blair.
Yeah, it kind of like we kind of even artistic styles out, which is cool.
For sure, for sure. Dr. Wu, Dr. Henry Wu of Jurassic Park.
Apparently.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was gonna say, Space, is there something you need to tell me? Did that. That was the little thing. Cool stuff. Lighting rocks.
Oh my god, you guys just killed us with this.
See, you should not have said we didn't deserve the last win, because that just gave us like the reason to annihilate you practically. And
well, that's kind of like the challenge that I have to set myself up with these podcasts is like, how do I, like, I'm worried, it's like my whole tribe with me naming the episode Tiki literally carrying the tribe on his back. It's like my whole tribe could turn against me and get pissed at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it's like, the only reason I titled it that is because it's an obscure Survivor reference that makes me laugh. But so that's kind of the risk, we kind of have to.
The teams are kind of shuffled up again, so you can kind of just be like, I'm gonna let you finish, but.
Oh God. Okay. Speaking of shuffling up the teams, I guess that's about it for the project. I mean, there's not really a lot to talk about with the projects this round. You guys just absolutely knocked it out of the park, whereas
It was so great. I was so proud of that project. We did well. Old Lasatoki, well done. Done good. Good job. Don't kill us.
And then we just completely, it wasn't pretty.
It's okay.
I mean, people were saying like, "Oh, Tiki, why do you say that?" People were literally telling me like, "Why do you say that? You're sure that our Michael's gonna, because I posted like, well, looks like we're screwed, and they're like, "Oh, you should have said that because you're just giving up." I'm like, "No, come on, there's no way we could have won."
I was concerned when you posted yours because yours actually has really good storytelling. And it's all about the storytelling this round. So I didn't know what RM was going to lean towards. Because I didn't know if ours, I don't know. I like your...
Apparently, according to our Michael, mine didn't have enough.
I like your storytelling. So I felt like it was a coin flip.
Right. I don't know. Our Michael did make the comment that mine didn't have enough story, which I was very, very confused by. Okay, so speaking of which, I guess the last thing to get into is really this tribe swap.
Yep.
So, yeah. Okay, so we have what?
It shuffles out the teams.
It does, even though I'll admit when I first woke up to the tribe swap, I was like, really? We have 5 and they have 6? Great. But no, it's like, obviously, I think you and IDI are kind of like the big 2 forces on our tribe. I think you guys are really going to be the forces that kind of like help us carry this whole project now. I mean, no discredit to Sam and T-Cool. I'm sure they'll be of a good help this project, but you and IDR are definitely the heavy hitters, especially having you. This is the first time I've worked with you on a
this is the first time I've worked with you too. So
yeah.
It's actually really good. So, nothing too bad yet. And people never underestimate him. He pulls out great content.
That's what I always say about T-Cool.
He's so great. So I'm pumped to see him pump out stuff for this challenge. So
I mean, he won the entire Elite 8 this year, so.
Oh yeah, I was so happy to pass on the torch to either of you guys. I was like, okay, this is cool.
And I mean, to his credit, I think his project was much more large scale in the Elite 8, the final round, than mine was. I was like, yeah, I'll just do a Wicked walkthrough. Yeah, sure. Screw it. So yeah, he definitely deserved that. Okay, so we got Ranky. Let's just go from the top. Lasatoki. I've heard that Ranky is kind of like a little bit of a non-factor.
I don't know. I like to think of him as like an early T-Cool. Like he has potential, and and I would like to see him come as long as he can. And yeah, I think he's a good player. I think he's a strong player. I mean, he pulls out good content. So
okay. Space Mountain, I think, is easily one of the big heavy hitters of this whole cast so far.
Space scares me because I know he's going to make it to merge, and he pulls out crazy stuff. I know him, and he's going to pull out some crazy things, and Blue Rosa needs to be on our toes.
But the thing with Space, I think, is that I think he's a loyal ally. So we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he
God knows what's going to happen. I mean, I did not think that
totally,
D-Squared would.
Since he said that, he's totally just going to be like, screw all my allies. I win.
I mean, I did not think D-Squared would go into the game acting the way he acted, but what do I know?
We don't know what's going to happen. I am so excited for her.
Okay, we've got Matt. Matt's a very solid contributor. He was very busy last round, and he was kind of one of the people I was least peeved at because he was at least offering very valid excuses.
I haven't worked with Matt since the choice, and I technically didn't work with him. I guess I technically worked with him since I kind of won each round and helped them a lot, but I didn't I haven't worked one-on-one with him in a while. He pulls out good stuff.
Oh, yeah. And again, I think he's kind of a player that people underestimate as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Everyone kind of forgets, even in the beginning of Sorcerer's Apprentice, it was between me and him for the finale.
Right, exactly.
It's the very beginning.
Okay, so Jokers, I know Jokers is busy with school, and it's kind of become a running joke. I'm like, hey, Jokers, I'm going to guess how well you do. You're going to do really good until you go back to school. So, I hate to say it, you know I love the guy. I mean,
when he gets into a project, he is great, especially when it has to deal with anything with Hollywood or anything with film. It's he's killer.
I'll tell you one thing that he does even better than Hollywood in film is Epcot.
Yeah. What?
Epcot?
No. Oh
What do you
my
mean?
gosh. I'm scared now. Getting him and Space together is just, oh God.
I mean, Epcot is definitely his specialty, and I'm sure, in the WDW side of this project, he's got that nailed down. So, so we'll see. Flippin' Flounder is always a person that I really want to see do well, and I'm just really hoping he makes the merge. I think he's got a good shot. I
think he does too. I think Flippin' definitely has the ability to go far. Again, I haven't worked with Flippin' much. I worked with him a little in SA3, but he does pull out good stuff. So I'm hoping to see more from him and develop.
I think once he makes the merge, he's going to have one of the smallest targets on his back out of anyone.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think that's a serious advantage because all the big dogs are going to try to kill each other. Hi, guys. Just going to walk around you.
Exactly. And I think I Am Not a Hufflepuff is going to have a very similar story.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I have an interesting thing going on with this guy because now I hope I'm not just blowing up his game. I'm pretty sure this is public knowledge at this point, but he actually was the one person to kind of fall for D-Squared. Whereas, because remember, you guys back in the first Tribal Council, when I believe Brer Panther was voted off, he was the one person to vote for IDI.
Well, and we didn't even say, Hufflepuff never told us that he was with D-Squared. D-Squared told us that Hufflepuff was on his side. So I thought that was interesting.
No, I guarantee you it was D-Squared who suggested to Hufflepuff that he vote for IDI because D-Squared was trying to get big threats out of the game right away.
It makes total sense. If I was in his shoes, I probably wouldn't have done it the same way, but I probably would have tried to eliminate a bunch of people that wow.
So I think Hufflepuff, he kind of came in at a disadvantage kind of socially and strategically after pulling off that rogue vote. But I think he's worked himself to where he's kind of overcome that. I think he's a very good member of the tribe. I can tell you he was definitely the second least active or the second most active person on my tribe besides myself last round.
The one question I have for I Am Not a Hufflepuff is if he's a Gryffindor, a Ravenclaw, or a Slytherin. Because I'm really curious. Because apparently, he's not a Hufflepuff. So
yeah, I think we can determine.
3 houses to go.
All right. I think we can skip myself and yourself because we're here and we're already talking about our games.
Yeah.
So
I
what?
Oh, I just said IDI. So
Yeah, IDI. Obviously the winner of the first season, which oh man, we'll see how this goes.
either everyone's gonna vote him off, or he's gonna skip around people all over again.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but again, I'm excited for merge because I have a feeling he'll make the merge, and it'll be interesting.
I definitely have a solid working relationship with him this season. I've been talking with him. The thing is, I don't have like a big strategic alliance with him like I did last season, because last season we were thick as thieves with the know-it-alls. We like ran that thing. So it's like we kind of more talk about just general stuff that's going on in the game and not so much strategy. So
Well, I feel like Redemption Island kind of changes everything because
of course it does.
like if you're a heavy hitter and you go to Redemption Island, you can kick butt and come back and seek revenge on anybody you choose. And like I feel like if IDI went to Redemption Island, he would probably come back with vengeance for whoever the crowd is.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of funny because it's like I'm still open to working with him for sure, but there's got to come that point. That's the thing. It's like there's got to come a point with space. There's got to come a point with.
There has to come. I think that's where strategy comes in, though. And again, I'm really excited for merge because like, that's gonna tell the tale. I feel like.
Oh yeah. And especially if D squared, if D squared gets back into the game.
Dude, I'm excited.
And I honestly think he's going to be a lot better than he was the first time around because I think he's going to have learned his lesson. And
I think he'll have a different strategy. And I think
he's definitely going to be strategic.
And I think it'll be really good.
Uh-huh.
That or total opposite. One of the two.
Okay. So I guess just really quick, let's get through Sam.
Sam is cool. Sam is an awesome guy.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Sam works well, and we've worked together on a lot of things, and he doesn't disappoint. He has good content, so.
He definitely got farther. I feel like he was in the D squared spot last season where he got voted out very early on for an aggressive strategy.
See, I wish I could see last season as it played out because I feel like that would have explained more, but this season apparently is a little different, so.
Well, I think this season has been quieter overall with the strategy because last season around this time we had the Matt blindside, which is kind of really the first big, me and IDI essentially voted Matt off to protect England. And that was the first kind of big strategic shift of the whole game. But Sam, he kind of messaged everyone right at the start of season 1. He's like, hey, we should do an alliance. Yeah.
Oh my God.
People were like, nope.
Nope.
So Sam, I feel like he's integrated himself much, much better this time.
I think he'll do fine. I think he'll do good.
And then T-Cool, it happens every competition, but I think he's got to. I keep warning these people. T-Cool, it's nothing against you. It's like you're such a talented person that I just have to be the guy who. He's
gonna go further than everyone expects. Every single challenge, and I don't know why everyone underestimates him. It drives me bananas. Show the man respect.
Yeah. I mean, after he won the Sorcerer's Apprentice and the Elite Eight,
you think he'd be more of a threat to people, and never underestimate T-Cool. Never.
All right. Well, I think that is about it. very, very excited to see where it goes from here. We have a long stretch. We have almost 2 weeks for this next project, which is going to give us ample time to just really crack some good stuff out. So.
Oh yeah, I am so excited to see everyone's like proposals next week because it'll be really good. Like Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, for sure. And just especially I really like the project that our Michael picked, just the whole like, all right, just go nuts. Just do one thing for each resort. Just go nuts.
This is gonna like, but I feel like it's kind of like shifting gears a little from the Shanghai Challenge because it was all about storytelling. This one's more board of directors, what would you do? And
sure.
I think it's kind of like you also have to pay economic pay into it, and beforehand, I don't know if you had to with Shanghai, so I think that'll be interesting. So.
All right, well, it's definitely, I mean, you and I are both very, very stoked for the merge, so we'll see what goes down there. All right, so thanks for having you on, MonorailRed. It was definitely a pleasure.
No problem. Good to be.
I guess that'll do it for this episode of the Soul Imagineer Tribal Council Podcast. Let's do the bouncing ball. Oh, yo, yay. Oh, yo, yay. Tiki literally carrying his family on his back.